Russia is one of the biggest and more powerful countries in the world. Its influence goes beyond the Eastern world. It has one of the strongest economies. Its history and culture is as interesting as their philosophy and traditions. Because of this, Russia is a country as worth studying and comprehending as any other. Because of these reasons, we'd love to share our knowledge of the beautiful and marvelous country that's Russia. Through the following demographic and cultural data, we hope you'll be able to understand better the current situation of the Russian social and economic states, and how they've developed into what they are today. Talking about the Russian population, the official estimate from August 2015 said that there were 146,400,000 people in Russia. From this huge number, 66,134,540 are male, and 76,823,624 are female, telling us that there are more women than men in Russia. Talking about age distribution, the percentage from the total population that belongs to the category of 0 to 14 years is 16.4%. The percentage from the category of 15 to 24 years is 10.7%. The percentage from 25 to 54 years is 45.8%. From 55 to 64 years is 13.8%. And from 65 years and over is 13.3%. The Russian life expectancy is of 70.9 years, and well, that's basically all about it.
The Russian growth rate has been very varying across the last century, but it's had an overall decrease since 1960s, where population rapidly started to peak from 25 births per thousand people to 15 in only 10 years. Then, it stabilized until the 1990s, when it began to drop again to only 8 births per thousand people in 1999. Miraculously, it rose again to 13 births per thousand people in 2013. The Russian death rate has increased from the 1960s with 8 deaths per thousand people a year to the 2000s, where the death rate doubled up to 16 deaths per thousand people. This was a reflection of the economic and social crisis caused by the falling of the USSR. But since then, the death rate has been slowly dropping to 13 deaths per thousand people.
The biggest ethnic group in Russia identify themselves as Russian natives, conforming the 77.7% of the Russian population, followed by the Tatars, with 3.7% of the population, the Ukrainian with the 1.4%, the Bashkirs with 1.1%, and Chubas and Chechen with 2%, leaving the remaining 14% of the population to other ethnic groups. Recent demographic trends in Russia have caused widespread public concern. Russia is experiencing unusually high death rates from non-natural causes, many related to alcoholism. Life expectancy, especially among working-age males, has dropped precipitously. The Russian fertility rate has declined to among the world's lowest, while its abortion rate is the highest. As a result, for the first time in Russian history, the annual number of deaths has exceeded the number of births. Compounding these challenges, the population is aging rapidly, a trend that will accelerate over the next 2 decades. Emigration continues to increase, posing thorny political and social problems for a nation historically accustomed to a net outflow of people. Strangely, for a country as big and culturally diverse as Russia, the only official language is, wait for it, Russian. Although there are over 35 other languages that could arbitrarily be considered as official in specific regions of Russia, such as Abkhaz, Adik, Chubas, Persia, and Ingush. Russia can be very diverse in spiritual beliefs. Here, the main religion is the Russian Orthodox Church, with 41% of the population share, followed then by Islam with 4.1% and other Orthodox Christianity religions with 1.5%. Other religions have 3.4%, and the remaining 49% is either for spiritual but not religious people or atheists.
From an equality standpoint, Russia has a low mark in the Gender Inequality Index, achieving a 0.314 in the scale, which is a great contrast from countries like Netherlands with 0.045. The share of seats in the parliament held by women reaches the 12% of the whole. Labor force gets 57% of female participation, while male participation stands at about 71%. The HDI for women in this country is higher, however, with 0.792 in contrast with the 0.763 of males.
Talking about Russian current situation, the Russian Development Index is between the numbers from 0.7050 to 0.7099, meaning that it has currently a mid-sized or normal development. And its primary activities are oil, gas, coal and timber provide energy, mining, fishing, forestry, agriculture, industry, aerospace, automotive industry, electronics, and services like retail.
Russia's rate at the Human Poverty Index is 32, meaning that it has poverty but not in such a high rate. Now, speaking about its social class distribution, 12.5% of the population belongs to the upper class, 1.5% to the middle class, 4% to the working class, and the rest, 82%, belongs to the peasants. The activities that are being taken to reduce poverty are to double the gross domestic product, to reduce gap between rich and poor, reform the health, housing, and educational sectors, and improve the social conditions for the army personnel.
In 2013, the Russian Federation was second only to the United States in the sheer number of immigrants. This is a fact that continues to elude many people. Justifiably or not, Russia is commonly thought of as a place to live rather than a place to which to move. And while it's true that Russian citizens are emigrating in increasing numbers in recent years, significantly larger flows of immigrants from the former Soviet Union have been entering Russia for the last 20 years, meaning that Russia in today's world is an emigrant country.